Once, nestled deep within a quiet valley surrounded by towering mountains, lived a 28-year-old man named Elias. On the surface, Elias had everything: good health, a job in the nearby town, and a modest but cozy home. But inside, his mind was in turmoil. He was constantly lost in thoughts that tugged him back into the past or pushed him into the unknown future. His regrets haunted him, and his fears kept him awake at night. The peace he craved seemed like a distant, unreachable shore. Each day felt heavy. No matter where he was, at work, with friends, or alone, his mind raced. He had forgotten what true stillness felt like. The weight of overthinking had drained his energy and dimmed his joy. One day, Elias overheard an old traveler at a tea shop talk about a hermit, a retired psychologist, who had once lived a high-profile life in the city, but had chosen solitude in a mountain village far from the chaos of the world. "They say," the traveler said, "he no longer treats patients but sometimes speaks to those who truly seek answers." That night, Elias couldn't sleep. The story stayed with him like an echo. On impulse, he packed a small bag, left a note at his door, and set out before sunrise. He didn't know exactly what he was looking for, but something in him whispered that it was time for change. After several days of travel, Elias reached the village. It was quiet, wrapped in the scent of pine and the sound of distant wind chimes. At the edge of the village stood a simple stone house covered in ivy. Outside, on a wooden bench, sat an old man with silver hair, his eyes closed, breathing in silence. Elias approached hesitantly and said, "Sir, I don't mean to disturb you, but my mind is restless. I can't escape it. I've tried everything. I just want peace." The old man opened his eyes slowly. They were kind, deeply still. He studied Elias for a moment, then nodded and said, "Follow me." Without another word, he led Elias to a narrow path behind the house. There, he handed him a clay bowl filled to the brim with water. "Walk to the end of the village and back without spilling a drop," he said simply. Elias was confused but obeyed. As he walked, he focused entirely on the bowl. Every movement calculated, every breath controlled. The path was uneven. Children played nearby, villagers greeted him, animals crossed his way. But Elias kept his eyes on the water. Step by step, breath by breath. When he returned, slightly sweating but successful, he said, "I didn't spill any." The old man nodded, then asked, "Did you see the wildflowers blooming along the road? Did you hear the laughter of the children or the rustling of the wind?" Elias blinked. "No," he admitted. "I was too focused on the bowl." The old man smiled gently. "Exactly. Your mind was fully in the present. Not in yesterday's guilt. Not in tomorrow's anxiety. That stillness you felt while walking, that was peace. It wasn't outside of you. It was inside all along, just waiting for your attention." Elias stood in silence. The simplicity of the lesson struck him deeply. "For most of your life," the old man continued, "you fed your mind everything except the present. But the present is the only place peace can exist. Thoughts will come, but attention is your power. Train it, and you'll find what you're looking for." The sun dipped behind the mountains, casting golden shadows over the valley. Elias bowed his head. Something inside him had shifted, not dramatically, but meaningfully. He thanked the old man and began his journey back. The path was the same, but Elias was not. He was quieter now. Not because his thoughts had disappeared, but because he no longer chased them. He walked, one step at a time, finally learning to be here. If this story touched your heart, do share it with someone who needs it. And remember, peace doesn't come from running away from life, but from being fully present in it.